Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Morning News.
Good Sunday morning to you, looking live over the harbor here at 10:30. Thanks for being with us this February 12th. I'm Taylor Stewart. Let's get right to your forecast. Meteorologist Amy Aronson. Big day today, and maybe spending it inside.
Yeah, inside plans, great idea. There's a big game happening. If you need something to do, you can watch it right here on Fox 45 later this evening. But we do have this coming, rain. Now, right now, the rain is getting started in Anne Arundel County. Some heavier stuff down towards Easton, across the bay along the eastern shore. All of this is slowly pushing northward. It's taking its sweet old time getting to Baltimore, but once the rain moves in, it's not really going to let up. And it is going to be a really chilly, soaking rain. That's because temperatures are hanging out in the upper 30s, low 40s right now, and they're not going to change a whole lot as we head throughout the day today. So a soggy Sunday afternoon and evening ahead of us. The steadiest rain will pick up after midday, taking us through this evening and through kickoff for the Super Bowl. Temperatures will be stuck in the low 40s at that point. Now, coming up in just over 10 minutes, I will walk you through an updated timeline for the rain for the rest of the day and let you know exactly how much we're expecting. Taylor?
Developing this morning, Baltimore City Police are investigating 3 overnight shootings. One, according to police, involves 3 children. Let's start off here at 6 a.m. Police were called out to Bel Air Road in northeast Baltimore. There, they say 3 kids were playing with a gun. They say it went off and a 14-year-old was shot in the leg. Just before that, around 2 a.m., police responded to a shooting in that same district along Quantrell Way. Police say the person was approached by a group of young people who shot that person during the course of an attempted robbery. And around 11 o'clock last night, in southeast Baltimore, police responded to St. Matthew Street. When they got there, they found a victim suffering from a stab and several gunshot wounds. All of these people were taken to the hospital for treatment. That's where they are this morning. And an update on the shocking findings revealed in a Project Baltimore investigation. 23 city schools, no students with proficiency in math, according to a new test result. That's 2,000 students, and they're all falling short of the state standard. It's prompting outrage reasonably from parents.
I can't afford no $1,000 tutor from Sylvan, but that's what he needs.
And our kids are not caught up, but we're passing them. We're passing them, but they can't read.
Terrible. Horrible.
City and state leaders often turning a blind eye to questions about the issues at city schools. But prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump, he's coming in on a lawsuit. He knows the failures of the school system, and he says it's unfortunately par for the course. Now, he joined that lawsuit last year. It accuses the school system of wasting taxpayer dollars and failing to provide adequate education for generations of students. In an exclusive interview, he sat down with Maxine Stryker. She asked him about the results of these tests.
You're very familiar, obviously, with the performance of Baltimore City Schools and our reporting and the lawsuit. Do you think this is a crisis moment, hearing this latest news?
I think that anytime a young person is denied quality education, it represents a crisis. And so what we have to do is look at the situation for what it is. We have to say we are failing our children, and we have to take the responsibility to do better.
That brings us to our question of the day. Should Baltimore City parents be given school choice if their child's school is failing? So far, 89% of people who weighed in here say yes. Go to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in. We're continuing coverage this morning as the Baltimore County police officer who was shot is still at the trauma center after that nearly 2-day manhunt that stretched through Baltimore and Harford counties. 24-year-old David Lickham was on the run from police from Wednesday afternoon through Friday morning. They say he shot 2 officers before making his way to Harford County. Now, he was eventually cornered and detained in Falston just before 7 a.m. on Friday. And here's what we know so far about that timeline. Let's go back to when this all started. Lithicum's father first called police on Wednesday. It was about a person in crisis. Officers arrived that afternoon, and Lithicum apparently shot an officer in the basement. He was able to slip out while that officer was receiving treatment. Now, Thursday around 8 o'clock, he was later spotted. Hours later, he's accused of shooting at a detective and then stealing that detective's SUV. Police say he drove to Falston, but they had him pinned down. And about 10 o'clock Thursday night, they began searching through a wooded area. By sunrise, he had been captured Friday.
We had eyes on the suspect. We had him pinned down. Our community is safer this morning with this individual in custody where he belongs.
Lithicum has been charged with attempted murder and armed carjacking. But the question remains, how was he able to not only shoot 2 officers and then escape the law? 45 has now obtained scanner audio from that threat inside Lithicum's house Wednesday afternoon.
Shots fired.
10-4 shots fired in reference to Powers Avenue. Do we need a medic started?
7-12, we have an officer bleeding. 11, he has an AR-15, dead's out, he's okay.
Now, we know Lithicum shot a Baltimore County police officer who was in his basement at the time. Now, at that point, other officers went to tend to the fallen officer, and that's why law enforcement officials, analyst Melissa Pinkleton, says that may have been the perfect time for Lithicum to make his getaway.
He could have snuck out in that moment, maybe when everybody's eyes weren't on him. Number one rule in policing is we go home that night. When one of our brothers or sisters are shot, yes, the attention is going to be on them, getting them medical treatment and getting them out of there.
Pinkleton went on to say the suspects on the run usually change their outfits afterwards. Lithicum also was familiar with this area, so he may have known some people or knew of more secluded spots to hide. You could hear the sounds of flashbangs as they echo through the Cockeysville area as police tried to lure David Lithicum out of hiding. Those feelings of fear turned to relief as residents now learn he's behind bars. Fox 45's Keith Daniels has their perspective.
On the block where the chaos began, tranquility. There is calm after a violent storm.
I'm so relieved. It was really scary and stressful.
People who live on Powers Avenue near Sherwood Road now relieved after the chase and capture of David Lithicum, the neighbor accused of shooting a Baltimore County police officer, then holding up in a barricade situation at his home in the middle of the block. Frightening moments for residents who watched and waited.
I was just staying in my basement. I didn't want to be around any windows. We had all the doors locked and everything was, staying safe.
As the search intensified in the area, so did neighbors' vigilance. In this video from a neighbor who lives near Lithicum's home, a moment when police moved in on the suspect, who by this time had slipped away from the barricade situation. The neighbor heard flashbangs.
There was another one. That's the third explosion.
The neighbor says he saw police focused on a shed in the neighborhood by the suspect's home. Sounds of police engaging with Lithicum caught on video. Police called Lithicum armed and dangerous, but somehow he managed to evade capture in Cockeysville. Thursday, Baltimore County Police pressed with several questions about the situation, including how was Lithicum able to slip away from police?
At this point, I've provided all the details that we can.
Where was the officer shot?
We're not going to get into the specifics of his injuries.
Meanwhile, Lithicum was on the loose, with police shutting down streets in the area as the search continued.
I understand it's for everybody's safety, and I get it. There's a lot of woods around here. It's a scary situation.
A nightmare for some residents that's over now. Lithicum is caught.
Thank goodness.
Now, this is just the start. We're going to continue to follow this investigation, especially in the coming days. That Baltimore County officer who is still in the shock trauma center, he will provide an update on his condition, and we'll let you guys know. Stay up to date here on foxbaltimore.com and on air. Still ahead on Sports Unlimited today, the biggest day of the sports year. It's Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's Super Bowl 57, and the Eagles are taking on the Chiefs. After the break, the update.
And rain is moving in from the south, getting closer and closer to the Baltimore area. I'll explain when the heaviest rain arrives and what it means for all your Super Bowl plans this evening in a couple of minutes. It's 10:39. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News.
Two Baltimore landmarks are celebrating Black History Month through a really unique opportunity. The Maryland Zoo is partnering with the Reginald F. Lewis Museum in Baltimore. They're giving any zoo members free tickets to the museum through the month of February. And here at Fox 45, we're highlighting Black History Month through our Champions of Courage series. It celebrates Marylanders who embodied the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Stay tuned for the second of 4 installments this Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. And speaking of Tuesday, you know what else is happening this week? That's right, Valentine's Day. After the break, you can spread the love. We can show you how to do it to have someone in need. But first, lacrosse season's underway, and the number 2 Terps were in town to take on Loyola. Still ahead on Sports Unlimited. Find out if an upset brewed here in Charm City. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning.
Welcome into your morning sports report. I'm Rocco DeSangro. Maryland lacrosse entered the season with a big target on its back. That, of course, comes with being the defending national champs. At a number 2 ranking next to the name, you're going to get the opposition's best every single time you take the field. Loyola looking to upset the Terps in Charm City, and the Greyhounds set the tempo early on. Seth Higgins feeds Adam Poitras, and 5-1 rifles one into the back of the net. Greyhounds on the attack again. This time it's Evan James. He's got 2 first names, and he had 3 goals. Loyola takes a 2-0 lead. Terps looking to answer. Daniel Kelly, top cheese. Maryland unable to take the lead in this one, though. Loyola upsets the Terps. 12-7 the final score. Johns Hopkins getting a tough draw in its home opener. Blue Jays hosting number 3 Georgetown, and this one came down to the wire. Behind a 4-goal game from Russell Melendez and hat tricks from Garrett Degnan and Jonathan Peshko, the Blue Jays get the 13-12 win. Maryland women's lacrosse opening the season against St. Joe's in College Park. Terps scored 7 in the first and never looked back. Hat tricks from Jordan Lipkin and Chrissy Thomas as Maryland handles St. Joe's. 15-5 the Terps, so they get number 5 Syracuse up next. Over at Xfinity Center, it was Maryland basketball playing host to Penn State. Check this out. Who said Turtles are slow? They're running. Jameer Young up top to Ian Martinez. Dunk you very much. Second half, Terps up 4. Seth Lundy. 3 ball. Cuts it to 1. Just over 4 to play, though. Hakeem Hart, the Philly guy, just took over. Dancing on him. Loses the defender. The foul. The bucket. He led the way with 23. The Terps beat Penn State 74-68. That's a program record 10th straight Big Ten home win for the Terps. Towson men's basketball on the road in Philly taking on Drexel. Tigers down 5. Nick Timberlake with the ball fake for 3, knocks it down. Cam Holden would tie it at the line, and this one would go to OT. In overtime, Holden gets a tough shot to fall right there, puts the Tigers up 2. Under 2 to go, though. Yame Butler on the drive, the spin, the foul, the bucket. Made free throw, puts Drexel up 1, and the Dragons go on to win this one. 73-66, the final score. UMBC men's basketball welcoming Bryant to town. Retrievers had a tough time with Sharif Bullock-Gross. He dropped 39, but the Retrievers were putting on points by committee. 18 from Trayvon Fagan, 15 from Craig Bidone, 13 from Jacob Bunyasit, and 12 from Yal Bang Mensah. UMBC goes on to win it, 76-73 the final score. UMBC women's basketball in search of their 3rd straight win. Retrievers on the road against Bryant. Keila Dixon scored 16. Kiara Bell had 12. That's points, 12 rebounds. 12 was her lucky number. That's a double-double for her. They were 2 of 5 that scored in double figures as UMBC goes on to get the win. 75-69 the final. Loyola women's basketball looking to snap its 9-game losing streak. Greyhounds cut it to 9 at the half as Lex Terrian beats the buzzer. You're going to see it here. She had 22 and 12. But Loyola falls in this one. 67-59 the final score. Loyola men's basketball on the road against Lehigh. Deion Perry was in his bag. Step back 3 for the lead. He gets fouled in the process. Career high 28 from Deion as Loyola wins it. 91-82 the final. Coppin State men's and women's basketball teams on the road against South Carolina State. The men fall to the Bulldogs 94-84 rather, while the women's team they lost 61-50. Morgan State women's basketball, they are scorching hot in conference play right now. They picked up a big win over North Carolina Central to remain undefeated in MEAC play. The men's team dropped its game with NC Central 83-63, the final score. 2 teams, 1 dream to hoist that Lombardi Trophy high in the air. Tonight, that's the night that the Eagles and Chiefs square off in Super Bowl 57. Jalen Hurts, he's eyeing his first, while Patrick Mahomes looks for his second. Both quarterbacks, they're ready to get this show on the road.
You know, this is the last one that this team will go out there and play together. We had our last Thursday practice today. You know what I mean? Little things like that resonate with us and with me. So besides anything else that'll come with it, you know, we all just want to go leave it all out on the line.
You work your tail off to be in this game and to play on the world stage, and you dream about it as a little kid when you're watching at Super Bowl parties and with your dad and your mom and everybody like that. And so to be able to play in this game is truly special, and you appreciate it every single time. And I'm excited to step back on that field and get to go out there with my teammates one last time.
If you're watching with us right now, stay with us all day long. Get the buff chick dip ready. Get the Tostitos, the chips, the dips, the wings, everything. Keep this channel on. You can catch all the action from Super Bowl Sunday right here on Fox 45 coverage. It's going to begin at 11, and that'll lead up to kickoff at 6:30 between the Eagles and the Chiefs. That's your morning sports report. I'm Rocco DeSangro for Sports Unlimited. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday.
And that's going to be a game to remember. I'm calling it now. I think it's the Rihanna halftime show. Meteorologist Amy Aronson. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game either way. It's going to be fun to watch. You can watch it here on Fox 45, of course, like we keep telling you. And the weather doesn't look great for being outside today, so perfect day for a little Super Bowl party. If you are headed out to any watch parties, it's going to be raining this afternoon and this evening, so bring the rain jacket, the umbrella. Temperatures are also going to be chilly. It's going to be a raw rain, not feeling great out there. Upper 30s, low 40s as we head through tonight. Right now, just looking gray and gloomy down at the Inner Harbor. No rain falling there at the moment, although rain being reported officially at the airport already. Low 40s currently there. Mid 40s where we're headed today. We are tracking that Super Bowl soaker. And then a drier start to the week will actually follow, along with some milder temperatures. Right now, here's a look at where the rain is. It's just south of Baltimore. The really heavy stuff highlighted in yellow, orange, and red here across the bay along the eastern shore down towards Easton. Looks like some light rain reaching the Annapolis Indianapolis area. This rain will continue to push northward as we head over the next couple of hours and eventually take over this afternoon. And a complex weather maker is to blame for this. That's pushing northward, shoving all that moisture into Maryland, and that's what's going to lead to all the rain as we head through the day today. So now let's talk timing. Future Scan's a little ahead here. Shows the rain falling right now. Not the case. I think by midday, that's when we'll all start to see the showers develop. And then some steadier rain right around 4 o'clock. So as you head out to maybe a Super Bowl party, plan on some soaking rain at that time. And it's going to continue through 6 o'clock, actually through late tonight, even as you head home after the game. We're still tracking some pesky showers. They will get out of here overnight, and by tomorrow morning, we welcome back some sunshine for your morning commute to work, into school. Temperatures chilly in the morning, in the 30s to begin, but look at where we're headed. The 50s are back on Monday, actually upper 50s to near 60 by the afternoon. Now let's backtrack and talk about how much rain we're expected. An updated look at the numbers shows the highest amount south of here, close to an inch in spots like Annapolis, closer to a half an inch in Baltimore. If you're north and west, you barely see anything. There's a really sharp cutoff there, only about 1/100th of an inch of rain in spots like Westminster. So for today, plan on that chilly rain with temperatures in the mid-40s. We're back in the upper 50s on Monday, and that's where we'll stay through Valentine's Day on Tuesday with tons of sunshine. And that's just the start of another mild February week. We'll jump from the 50s to the 60s, actually mid to upper 60s as we head through week's end. And here's a quick look ahead at that 7-day forecast. We are turning colder again by next weekend. Taylor?
Valentine's Day just 2 days away, and everyone is encouraged to put some love in a letter and send it to somebody who needs it. Children's hospitals, nursing homes, frontline employers, shelters, they're all accepting Valentine's Day cards and treats. At St. Jude's Children's Hospital, they're taking virtual cards and monetary donations. They've also partnered with Amazon to have a storefront for donations and giftable items. AARP bringing back its Cupid Crew initiative. It's sending heartfelt messages to socially isolated seniors. And love certainly isn't always cheap. Now, Americans plan on spending $26 billion this Valentine's Day. That's according to a survey from the National Retail Federation. On average, most people, they say, will spend about $192. As for presents, the best gifts are expected to be candy, greeting cards, and flowers. Well, I want to see how you're celebrating. All of us here on Fox 45 News are locked into this celebration, and we want to see it on Chime In. You can go ahead to fox45.com, foxbaltimore.com rather, or the WBFF app, and send us your pictures and videos there. We're expecting some rain to move across the region this Super Bowl Sunday. Meteorologist Amy Aronson is going to check out how long it will last heading into your work week in her final 7-day forecast.
10:56 on this Super Bowl Sunday. Looking quiet now at the Inner Harbor. It's just cloudy out there, but the rain is coming. Perfect day to watch football, right? Don't make any other plans. You can watch it right here on Fox 45. We've got coverage actually starting right after this. It's going to be a chilly rain today, this afternoon, tonight, soaking rain at times. So do be careful if you're out and about heading to any Super Bowl festivities. Tomorrow's a drier day. We're in the upper 50s, so that's going to be a nice change. We're back with mild temperatures, actually almost every single day next week. We've got upper 50s for Valentine's Day, mid 60s by Wednesday, upper 60s by Thursday. That is when our next weather maker moves in. So I'm tracking some scattered showers Thursday into Friday, but at least it's going to stay mild, not feeling like winter with highs near 60 through Friday. And then after that system gets out of here, we're dry again for the start of next weekend. It will be turning cooler again, so it is back to reality by next Saturday with highs in the upper 40s.
Well, not a bad day for rain.
No.
I mean, stay inside, watch the game, get your dip.
Yeah, I can hear the music. It's exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah. Right here on Fox 45. Stick with us here. Pre-game coverage starts right now and leads you all the way up to kickoff. So just park it. Have a good one.